Yeah, I too, as I was always reflecting on this, and I sort of stepped back, away from Bakersfield College and into my military career and started, thinking about the different experiences that I've had. And I think that, there's a couple of levels of peace that I look at, and not the least of which is one is what I'll define as sort of a learned peace. And you learn that by, I mean, when you experience things and you travel and you listen and you pay attention to what is going on, you start to acquire sort of the knowledge of what peace truly means to you. And some may call it sort of an appreciation of what you've had in your life, those kinds of things. And as a military veteran and traveling overseas and into countries that were extremely poor and lacked a lot of the individuals I interacted with always seemed so happy and peaceful. And there was a question that I've always looked at to say, how possibly can these individuals find peace in this environment? How can they find happiness in this environment? And then I started to understand that, peace starts within your heart. And as you start to live life and appreciate the things that you have and enjoy, then that peace sort of grows. And, I've got, just under 30 years military service, and I served in the jungles of Philippines, worked with, refugees coming out of Vietnam, as a hospital corpsman, and then went to the battlefields of Washington, D.C. and worked there for a while. But I tell you that you do start to, those big differences of being overseas and then getting into Washington, D.C. and working around politicians and hearing the different points of view that come out, you start to realize that that journey for peace does start in your heart. And I think that the things I've experienced in my life have showed me that. And also, as others are sort of on this journey, because, what is it? We're all looking for that internal harmony and those types of things is, just, talking to people and listening to what they have to say, and not being so critical, but sort of paying attention. And I think that in my life, that's sort of shown me where my journey is for peace, and how am I going to find harmony with myself and others, and in the environment that I find myself. So that's where my journey. When we talk about peace, it's of course in military environment, and you go to some hostile territories, you quickly learn what the lack of environmental peace looks like, and tend to appreciate even more when surrounded by peace and the ability to speak. But so that's where I'm at. I bring that to my job every day at Bakersfield College, just that thought of listening and paying attention to others, and doing my best to find harmony within myself, but also to support the journey others have to find that same harmony.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rich. I have a similar question anytime I've been overseas is what makes anyone with so little so happy? And to me, it always struck me as community. It was these pockets of families that lived together, that relied on one another and had these really strong relationships. And I think that's a really big pillar of peace as well.